I know there was some controversy behind that, and there's some people that sort of denied its existence, but then Carl Armand got photographs of them, and they obtained skulls that were a chimpanzee skull that had a crest.
Enlarged. Yeah.
Well, they also had a crest, like the same way that a gorilla does.
My understanding, and this is not something I'm super familiar with, but there's no denying that they existed. Right, there was this insular gigantism that took place within this group of chimpanzees. There was heightened aggression. You know, that's all like known and documented. But it wasn't a new species. It wasn't a distinct species. It was sexual or rather natural selection that led to these animals being different and isolated and turning into larger, more aggressive chimpanzees. That's my understanding of it.
But would that also make their skulls different?
It can do, you know.
Because, like, okay, well, oddly enough, we have a skull.
Yeah,
of a
it's very cool.
This is made by Shane Against the Machine, who's a guy on Instagram who's an incredible artist. Cool. He's made a couple of pieces for the podcast studio.
Oh, rad.
The difference is with this skull versus what they think the Bondo Ape skull is, that the Bondo Ape has, like, a bone mohawk
right
down
through
the
here.
center.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a gorilla does.
Sure. So, you know, sexual selection over time can evolve for anything, can adapt for anything, right? That's why peacocks have the silly tail they have. It doesn't help them fly, right? It's only sexual selection. It's being bred for. So you get a bunch of chimps stuck on an island, stuck in a region, and the females decide for whatever reason that a bump on the head is sexy. Okay? Now, every chimp that has a slight bump on its head is being selected for by the females to reproduce offspring. Fast forward 15, 20 generations, maybe 200 generations, whatever, they all have a crest on their head. That is how evolution begins, because now you fast forward millions of years and the sexual selection has been selected for over and over and over and over, and you're starting to turn into a new creature, a new organism altogether.
If I'm not, I don't think I'm incorrect here. I think the crest indicates enormous mandible muscles.
Because the muscles attach up there.
Yeah, I think
Makes
that's
sense.
what the crest is for.
Yeah.
Like, because that's how it is with dogs.
Sure.
Like, have you ever noticed the difference between a dog that's castrated and a dog that's not fixed?
In temperament, sure.
The size of their heads.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Like, my dog is a golden retriever, the sweetest dog in the world.
Yeah.
But he has a pretty big head.
Yeah.
And it's the muscles in his head are big.
Sure.
Like on the sides of his head, because he has his testosterone.
Sure.
Whereas we met this other golden retriever that was fixed, and he has this narrow little tiny head.
Sure.
And it's because he doesn't have any muscles.
So that's the difference of sexual selection, like the peacock or what I explained, and natural selection. So if these Bondo apes are only eating, and I'm just making this up, and I know the theories of them killing lions and everything, but if they're only eating coconuts, let's say, right?
And they have to tear them apart.
They have to rip through a coconut with strong jaws.
Right.
Well, if you got weak jaws or weak jaw muscles or weak mandibles, whatever, you're going to die.
Right.
You know, so over time, again, the only ones that are surviving are the ones that have this ridge on their head that are naturally being selected for stronger muscles.
Yeah.
So
they just think it's
mechanism.
like a subspecies of chimp?
That's my understanding of it, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I had thought. That They don't think it's a different chimp, but they do think it's different in terms of its size and temperament.
And we see that all the time, right? We see insular dwarfism where things are stuck on an island, they get smaller and smaller because of the lack of resources, or gigantism for the opposite reason. Like, we see that all the time within species.